What's going on, everyone? We got our Xbox here, all painted, flat black primer, and then we put the triple thick glaze over it. Probably do a little wet sanding. There's a little bit of kind of dust around the top, but it basically looks like factory with a little bit of gloss added to it. I like it. Should look really nice paired with the carbon fiber. I think better than if it was just flat black. So, yeah, what we got to do today is put our mirror film on the plexiglass, which I already tried doing a second time, and there was still little bubbles, so I think we're going to try spritzing it with like distilled water. Maybe if that doesn't work, a little bit of like soap, like how people put on window tints and stuff. And that should be able to squeegee everything out real nice. Once that's in, we can glue this in place. Then we're going to go ahead and I think I already have screws and bolts, or nuts and screws that will fit perfectly to get our fan installed. And I think I'm going back to just having the fan on the outside. I like it just all black. I think I might still put that grill on the inside just for a little stability to kind of hold it all in place and just kind of strengthen this whole area here, because like I said, it's very thin right there. Then we got a little bit of wiring to do. I pretty much already have all the fit, like the 3-pin splitters and everything I need to just kind of plug everything in. We just need to splice into our DVD cable to get our LEDs installed. And then, yeah, we can just finish up our little bit of tubing. I already put our ring of light board in, UV purple with little white power button. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and at least test it. It's been a while since I turned this one on. I fixed the red ring of death, played it for a little bit. Everything seemed good. Then I started doing this to it. So I don't want to get to a point like the other build where we put the whole thing completely together and then realize I got to take it out. So before I get too far ahead, we're going to make sure everything's still good with that. And then, yeah, basically doing final assembly. This will be the final part of this build. Kind of showing what we're doing, and then the next one should be the finished product. One thing I have to do is ask if I should go UV purple or maybe UV green. Now the idea here is, like I said, I'm either selling this one or the eyeball one. I'm leaning towards keeping this one for myself and selling the eyeball one, because I know this one's non-HDMI and that's not a problem for me. That's going to work on my projector just fine. And the other one obviously is a Jasper HDMI. I'd feel better about selling that one anyway, as it was never a red ring of death. This one was, so yeah, I'm going to keep obviously one of the Slims and this one. So I'll have an HDMI and non-HDMI. And yeah, so this will probably go on my shelf. Now the reason I bring that up is I have the PS3, which is blue lights in, well, I guess the fluid's pink, but it's all blue, lights up blue. Then I have my red Xbox One, and then I want one that's maybe green. So we've got like green, red, blue on each shelf. That'd be cool. Maybe go yellow. I don't know if that would be I don't think it's UV, it's just yellow. Or purple. I don't want to do this one, red or blue. So we'll have kind of one of each color on my little system shelf. But anyway, let's get this window installed and then we'll move on to wiring. Alright, so this is technically my third attempt. And it seemed very promising at first with the soapy water, but I don't know, this film is just ridiculously hard to get on there. So, I don't know, I might have to come up with another plan. I might get another kind of tint where it's maybe just like window tint instead of a mirror. That might actually look better on the console anyway, so that it's actually all pretty much black. And that way basically just a window that you can't see through until there's light behind it, instead of using this mirror film. So we'll either get some kind of window tint, because this is just like I mean, it's like window tint, but it seems like it's even thinner and more delicate. So we'll try that. Either that or maybe some kind of spray adhesive and just put this on there with the backing still on it so that it doesn't have any bubbles whatsoever. Or maybe even just like a spray window tint sort of thing. I might actually still have some of that. So I think we might try that instead, and then we'll move on. But in the meantime, let's look at what we got here. So, like I said, our pump's in place. Basically what I'm going to use here, it's going to go from our bottom reservoir into this, and that's going to go straight down. And I've got one of those little 90-degree acrylic barbs on there going to our pump. You can see that out of the pump this loops around, and I might use a second one of these just so that there's not a big loop there. It'll kind of help loop it around even more, although it is not kinking or anything. It's good tubing. And then the other side of the radiator is going right into here, and then out of here, which this video will be filmed today and the rest of it tomorrow. Tomorrow I will be getting my three-way splitter that's going to come out of the block. That's where we're going to have our temperature sensor plugged into, so it'll have the temperature of the fluid coming right out of the block, which should be the hottest part of the loop. And then this is just going to loop around, make another 90, just go straight back into our reservoir. So we've got that all set up. I just need to finish cutting up the tubing and stuff. And then now we're going to move on to our DVD drive cable. We're just going to splice into that. I've done that a dozen times. Well, honestly, probably like 100 times. So, and then we're just going to put our LED strip along here, and maybe even partially over this way, even though this is our only window. It's going to be right above here, so it's not really necessary to have the LEDs anywhere else. Plus these light up as well, so you'll be able to see that glow kind of through this fan. So yeah, that's our plan there. I'm going to take this film off and see if we can use kind of that spray tint. And then next up, we're going to install our fan real quick on the side, on our side panel, and our monitor, so that tomorrow when the other part comes and I get this actually worked out, we're basically just assembling everything. That's all that's left, so exciting. Alright guys, we got the tinted film. Well, it's not a film. I used the tint spray, did like 10 coats over it so it's nice and dark. Looks kind of like a limo tint. So when it's on the system, it should look pretty much black, and then when it's on, it'll shine through. So we're going to let this cure. And then over here, we've got our splitter fitting right there. Let's go ahead and take this top lid off. See how we pretty much have the tubing where we need it to go. Let's see, our bottom one going out there right into our pump. This pump loops around right into our radiator. Out of our radiator, it's coming around into our water block. Then coming out of our water block, we've got our splitter. This way is our temperature sensor. See right here, it's ready to plug into our monitor. And over here it loops around 90 degree back into our reservoir. Now I've got the fan on right here. Got this stuff plugged in real quick. I'm going to go ahead and turn this on. And it is just into our HDMI adapter. There we go. It's working good. I shut it off right away. There's obviously no fluid in there. So everything is good. We're just gonna go ahead and change this over to a 3-pin. And I think I'm gonna use the other splitter to plug right into here, so I can plug the fan in and still have the pump out instead of combining those. And then I'm going to take this splitter, take our third fan, splice it right into here so that all 3 fans are just plugged right here. And then all I need to do is make our little adapter for our 4-pin fan connector to transfer into these, as well as the temperature display. I'm going to splice that right into there. Get rid of all the extra mess of cables. See right here, I've already got it cut off. Just need to splice that in to connect into there. And then I just need to take our DVD drive out to plug in those 2 cables, and then it should be ready for some fluid. And again, I'm still back and forth on the fluid type. I think I'm going to go with purple. That'll match our Ring of Light board. And yeah, it should look pretty cool. And then I just need to splice in, I'm going to pick the 5 volts off of this DVD drive and put in the RGB style lights instead of the UV. Certain colors on the RGB will still kind of make these UV stuff glow, but I think it's going to look really nice with the tinted window over here, so kind of dampen down the brightness of these colors, but with the LED lights it should look really cool. So real excited, getting close to putting this thing all the way together. Like I said, I just got to let that window cure, and then we'll put it in place right there. And then just finish up that little bit of wiring, put our fan and monitor in place, and it's ready for our first trial. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to start the next video when that window's cured, and we'll just do our little finishing up on this system. So thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe.